Welcome back to my campaign experience in dirty seatac politics. And this video, of course, is still addressing Peter Kwan. Now I want to kind of revisit a little the email. And Peter, you are welcome to share that email because I'm pretty sure you have. And I'm pretty sure those other of your supporters who think that they are doing the right thing on your behalf because they think that they have all of the truth, that they are willing to hurt other people in their community rather than to find out if their fellow neighbor is hurting or is okay, that you're going to have these people come and attack me again. That's fine. Because what more can you really do that hasn't been done to me last year? But I'm disappointed. And yeah, honestly, I'm hurt because I really thought that you were a cool person and that your statistics and although I don't always agree with your statistics, but and I would see that some of your stuff is bias things that you would show just to make your point. But I get it because it's almost like saying Pam is Pam, but Peter is Peter also because you are good at what you do. You're good at suppressing information. You're a computer guy, a computer analyst or whatever. So you know how to do different things. So kudos to you. But I guess that you thought I fell in your high school diploma statistics of CTAC when actually I'm not. Even if I wasn't even going for the bachelor's that I'm almost finished with, I'm not. And even people who have high school diplomas, and like I said, even if I didn't wasn't going for that and I had a high school diploma, I can guarantee you that I make um when I'm well informed and I have all the information that I make good decisions. It's when I have the lack of something, then I have to try something and might fail at it. Or if I'm been given deception, being deceived, then I have to try to go on instinct or hope. How's I plan for the worst but hope for the best? And I'm not even really sure if you saying that you did not send out that email. I'm not sure if what your expectation was for me to backlash on the mayor and Clyde, in which I don't think that it I would have doubted that was them, and despite Clyde and Stan going along with what Pam did of helping suppress Kong and I's platform and getting people to go to a event that they planned at the last minute, but you all did it, the mayor and yourself, despite like no matter, and I at first I was accepting the whole thing. Oh, we didn't know that Pam had did this. We just got a last minute call and we didn't know that you guys were doing this, having your event or like the different things. You didn't know this, you didn't know that. But it's funny because when I talk to different people and I see you on other platforms, you can't tell me that you didn't know, especially not when you one of the run the platforms and you seem to know everything else like God. So, and then you pretend that you couldn't make my event because you had meetings, but the whole time I found out you was over there at the other event. You wasn't at meetings, you was at the other event that was planned at the last minute because you knew about mine. So it's like those little lies that hurt because you have constantly tried to treat me like I was dumb. And it wasn't that I was oblivious to it or why go along with it. It was more of a, you can't make enemies of everyone, even if they are doing what they're doing, because sometimes you're not in the position to open your mouth and say something. And if you do, then it's going to make you look bad. It's like a just sit back and kind of take it because, like Pam, when you're a citizen that's being treated like a peasant, you don't have a voice in this community. And it's not fair that when people vote that they don't know the whole truth. So they don't know that their neighbors are being hurt by the people that they're voting for because you're abusing your authority. Whether this convinces a lot of people or it even gets your people who like myself had your back to see that they're nothing but pawns to you, that we're not your neighbors, that the things that you do are for publicity and not out of true genuineness. Because it's like, oh yes, Peter does this. Peter puts the bell boxes up. Peter does that. Peter does that because he has a lot of time on his hand. Doesn't do it because that's who he is. Peter smiles in your face and he's very calculated as to how he can utilize you, and he knows we're not we're like not his enemies, but we're his pieces to his chess game. I get that a brilliant mind like that is good for politics, but how do you use it? Are you abusing it? So all the fear talk of fear of progressive takeover, I I get it. I get that there are people genuine fears of progressive takeover. So let's um let's kill animals and live babies because we're afraid of progressive takeover because Peter thinks that's great. I know that's an exaggerated example, but I'm just saying if you think selfishly, then how far would your selfishness go? So address the Peter who has said and claimed to have met me in community events, a community event, and where I asked him, "How do I run?" is what he said, and that I sought him out at coffee shops, and I guess like maybe emails can speak for themselves because I just thought that I was getting information as a community person. I was being encouraged to run as because I had a voice that people felt like represented them. You've invited me places to get my face out there. When I was responding to one of your guard dogs, you sicked on me because they are a pawn to go after people to help you save face. I accidentally responded to you, which is why it hurts me a lot to post this because I have to think you send more attack dogs who will call me a liar and a stupid girl for speaking my truth. And you have people under your thumb thinking it is acceptable to play with the citizens of seatac's lives and not respect them. So, sitting on my proof, I will show whatever to any news outlet to at least demand transparency and the right to our choice to vote and stop suppressing people in our community because you are a dictator. You would have been better to say your strategy was to have Pam and Stan win, but you needed my help to campaign on their behalf. I would have done that. I would have ignorantly done that. Instead, you did me a favor in letting me see the true Pam and letting her expose that I am a token Black girl and the enemy. If Iris was never the enemy or a threat to this city, then why are you telling people this while endorsing Pam to attack me? Who Pam was not even running against me, and nor was I saying anything bad about her. In fact, my statements were constantly that I support with the current council, the foundation that they have laid, and I just want to build on it. And that's all I want to do. And that's what I still want to do because I like how seatac is. So I'm not here bashing the council that is apparently bashing me, that is apparently going to endorsers. And though everybody keep on saying this is a nonpartisan race, this is a nonpartisan race, BS. Because let's face it, we know who is conservative, who's progressive, and that constantly gets pointed out. And you would have went to endorsers behind my back to tell them that I was a liberal, that I was a progressive, and then they meet me and they say, "Oh, you're actually not a progressive the way Peter Kwan and Pam made it seem. It's not a nonpartisan race, but yet you are playing partisan party arguments behind the scenes. You might not have done it to everyone, so everyone might not have had this experience, but there are people who've been knocked on their doors that have this experience that I'm progressive. And I'm not saying that to knock progressives because I feel that um, I've had progressives in my group, my CTEC on the right group, that we all got along and we talk about issues. We don't talk about um, party lines and what you believe as to why you are chose that party type thing, but we talk about issues because at the end of the day, being nonpartisan is for us to discuss issues. But that's not what you guys did when you campaigned. Granted, yeah, Tequila was posting up me and Kong and we're insurrectionists, blah blah blah. I could disagree with that all day. It doesn't matter. People are going to think what they want to think. And it's funny how that information that they posted up was actually like a week before running, but you already said months before they posted it that that's what they were doing. How coincident? Who is really pulling that puppet string? Because I would think that Tequila and Iris would have been playing that little fiddle, that little band of paper trails way back from the beginning, not just the week or a couple days before voting. So funny coincidence. If this city was really in danger of progressive takeover, in which I'm not going to be the one to say I know for a fact they are not, because I'm not the statistic person like Peter Kwan. Everybody likes to believe and things, but I think anytime a progressive runs, it's going to be that thinking anyhow. Anytime a conservative run is going to be played to other other parties that way, people that you know that way. Because come on, we all know we have this voter what you call it thing that we're all giving. And so Peter, don't make like you only gave it to us because I found out more people have it because they asked me because they said you gave it to them too. And think that it says who in the city votes and what way they vote. So if you are more of a conservative voter, is going to say that on your house. If you're a Democratic voter, is going to say that on your house. So you know how to play and pander to the people who are at that home. So cat's out the bag. So we know that. We know who votes, how often they vote. So if um how does it go again, Peter? If they don't vote, then you don't have time to listen to them or make an appointment to even care about what they have to say because they're not going to affect if you stay in office or not. So although they are a citizen, their voice doesn't matter. Moving right along. But I understand the strategy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not not knocking it in a sense, but at the same token, I am knocking it because although person doesn't vote, they're still, like I said, my neighbor. In fact, the people that I reached out to were the people that you didn't want me to reach out to because they're not on there as voters, but apparently they voted. They were willing to vote because somebody took the time to talk to them. And others, I'm pretty sure, were people that had knocked on their door. Like I was saying, if the city is in danger of progressives, then why did conservative council participate in an event that Pam posted to suppress both Kong and my meet and greet? And I know you're going to say this is a nonpartisan position. Let's stop and cut the bull crap. We all know what you guys are. If news even says the mayor is a Trump supporter and she wears her Trump outfits and she has it all over her pages and stuff. We know Clyde is a Trump supporter. We know these things. They're diehard, they're politics. However, when they're on council, we hope that they are making decisions that concern city of seatac and not federal. So people apparently, if we're such a, you got to win and pander to these Democrats to make them like you and tell them what they want to hear. No, I'm not going to tell them what they want to hear. I want to tell them what I believe for CTAC and how I see it. And then if they have any suggestions that perhaps we all can make SeaTac a better place. Not just me or what I think, but all of us together. Not what uh, conservatives only or Democrat only think, but how we can do this together. So apparently, we can't be as democratic of a voter, no matter how it may say red or blue on that house. That a lot of people had to vote for that so-called racist council, that so-called conservative council to be there, and they apparently was never looking at the color of their skin for one, and they was not looking at the party in which they vote for on their personal life. But yet you guys play that against me and Kong for this to be a nonpartisan race, and you play that against the voters that you say it's nonpartisan, but you point out Iris and Jake are progressive liberals, and you know what they bring to this city. So let's not pretend that you guys aren't playing that game. And the thing is that out of all the suppressing that has been done in this campaign, Iris and Jake never did that. They gave us at least a clean race because, like I said before, this is city. This is not even federal for us to even have to act like this childish. Just confused because if this city needs so much manipulation and is biased, I'm confused as to how do we have a diverse council where known Republicans sit. Those so-called biased people had to vote for them, and perhaps they were not voting on party. They were voting on their belief that they believe that the people on our council are doing a good job and should remain, and was convinced by their campaign. Yet when you guys suppress the right for the community to come out and meet candidates who are supportive of what CTEC has been doing, you thought the best strategy was to make like Iris has the skills to make it look like you guys are attacking us? No, we're smart enough to know that she wasn't attacking us. In fact, we even pointed that out way before then when she wasn't attacking us and you said she was attacking us. Let's start with trying to set Kong up to attack Iris. You have Iris thinking one thing to attack Kong. Meanwhile, Iris doesn't know both her and Kong are being set up to look bad. Now, you may have not personally spoke to Iris or given her information, but I know how this works. I've been around you for over 2 years now. and watched and sat back and said nothing. What upset you was Kong was not biting on the information you was giving him. You wanted to destroy this man's life that he has worked so hard at proving how people can change and become good citizens, that you did not care about him as a citizen, nor as a reformed citizen. You wanted him to attack Iris so bad that you met with us at the loft to try and hype him up on false information to get him to react out of anger. You even tried to encourage him to get ahead of it by attacking her first. You wanted him to come after her union backing, use that her career in Seattle means she is being a puppet for Seattle and that we're going to look like Seattle, and to play on how much of a threat she is as a progressive. He needed to hit her hard, is what you said, on his attacks, because everyone is going to be attacking him for his background. You felt like he really needed to attack her because you said that she was attacking him and slandering his name on all platforms. Instead, Kong chose to get news outlets that would do this for him and show how she is attacking him and that he has come a long way to not be the person or perceived as the person that he once was, only to find out that there was no proof that Iris was attacking him or slandering him. So Kong was upset about this when he asked you, he emailed you to find out where can he find this, and you start backpedaling. All of a sudden there was nothing. It was her people who somebody who said it or mentioned it, and you looked it up and you found this out. It's easy to look up. We knew that. We would be dumb not to know that you can't just Google Kong and see who Kong is. But you tried to destroy this man's name. One, because you know there are people who don't forgive and who don't progress, because regress means you're going to hold on to the past. Progress means you're going to learn to find a way to move forward and utilize, like their ex-gang members out here and things, and they see the error of their ways and they're hurt about things that they can't take back. So instead, they want to make their community a better place. You're not even trying to work on that. You want to destroy him and try to make this man look like, or try to make him be what communities fear. And you said that that's what Iris was saying, and she never said that, not even in her present attacks. Kong called you out in email, and he called you a liar and a manipulator. He called you for what he saw you was. And Peter, you had no respect of what that would have done to Kong's image had he been a person who reacted like Pam Fernald rather than do his research. Interesting enough, when you was trying to get him to attack Iris, this was back in May and June, when you wanted to stir up a campaign battle. But when Iris or Tequila actually said it, like I said, it wasn't until the end of July. When Kong nor I had attacked any of them, we were running our own campaign. Jake was running his own campaign. Iris was concerned about Kong. What's her name? Pam was concerned about both me and Kong, and I was not even running against her. In fact, you guys knew that we were part of your team. I knew you played people and you are good at using truth to push a lie, because I watched you do it on many platforms, but was not allowed to say anything, or I risked being kicked off those platforms. Yet I watched you kick other people off platform just for not really agreeing with you. But you find legitimate ways to do it. You're good at that. In my next video, we can talk about the seniors and people who get kicked off your platform for defending them. Okay, now let's talk about our seniors. Too bad the woman who needs to comment can't, because you deleted her for trying to expose you in seatac community. Peter Kwan takes pride in the things he does for the city, rightfully so. I was impressed with his long resume and how other cities praise Peter at um, at events as the one who put seatac in the surplus of funds. In fact, if you ask Peter, I don't know if he says this to everybody or just to us who are new, that if it wasn't for him, seatac wouldn't have the money that they have. They wouldn't have the programs that they have. That loft is attributed to him, seatac at reserves. That's he made sure that happened. What else? Oh, if anybody goes homeless in this city and you're a resident, seatac will take care of you until you get back on your feet. And that's all because of Peter, in which I found out that is not true. I was diehard believing that and passing that information on. I know that CTAC gives a lot to human resources and things, but the way Peter knows how to put that spin on there is he got this surplus and we have all of this money that we can pay that 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 they can pay CTAC residents what is this? Property taxes, all of these things. And and we didn't even know that we were CTAC was an opportunity zone. Nobody passes his word along, but of course, not to really make this a race issue, but he sure made sure, but sure, outsiders for that he approved to be here inside CTAC, running a senior at CTAC Reserve from California, seems to know about the opportunity zone. That if he was really about bringing unity, he would let a lot of Black people in the community know, because that was started actually based on an accusation against Trump being racist, which was to help um, Black communities and low income communities to be able to have that get ahead. But instead, some rich white people got it that you take pride in letting us know that you helped that project go forward. Well, at least you let me know. Anybody in this community, because anybody can use that. But this community, how come nobody from this community is running none of these projects? So if Peter is the only God send on this council that knows how to see the statistics, who knows how to find the numbers, who knows how to do the comparison, then I'm kind of confused as what do we need the rest of the city council for? Because Peter has raving reviews. Isn't that what you say, Peter? You have raving reviews. But I guess you would when you have guard dogs and you have I was one. But you have people to do your dirty work because all you have to do is say a little bit of truth and sprinkle it with a whole bunch of deception, because you know what we're passionate about and you know that we care about our community. So why don't you start caring about it too and stop trying to play us against each other? Stop sending a private message to one person and saying, "Oh, you do. Why are you guys taking up for each other on this platform, on that comment, blah, blah, blah? Did you know that they are progressive?" And then that progressive turns around and screenshots and send that you said the same exact thing, but opposite. That don't you know that they're conservative? Why are you guys agreeing? And this is what this person does. And so to me, it shows me that you are an instigator, that you like to see drama. What, it's not Peyton's Place enough for you to watch Next Door and moderate that? But my thing is to city council. You make this one person be the know all, see all for the whole council. I would like to believe from what I've seen and met that There are other smart people on this council and in this city and other people in this city capable of seeing the bigger picture and informing the public. But when you give one person full control, I think it's dangerous. Speaking of how Peter brags about his pet projects around this town and everything he does, when we had a slumlord situation over here going on at the SeaTac at Reserve, that that's how I come to find out that the funding that he was talking about for our SeaTac residents, we have so much of it and we can take care of people that you started backpedaling. And it made me like, well, where is this program that you told me about? But you wanted me to back off from helping the seniors, or you was going to have to shut it down and make them homeless and they weren't going to have any place to go. So I'm like, hold on, but you said there was this funding. And when you felt like you was losing control of the situation, you decide to ban the lady who was constantly going to senior meetings around here or constantly coming to you guys and trying to post and bring awareness. You banned her from the community pages. And you let me know you were banning her and that I was next if I helped her. But you do find a legitimate way to do it. I must say, you're very good at that, which is she wanted to, other people wanted to share her post of bringing awareness and have inviting people in the community out to come see what they were going through and experience and hear them out. And she didn't know how to make it shareable. So when she was trying to make that shareable, you banned her. So then I turned around and she asked me to make it shareable for her. The only way I could do that is screenshot it and just redo it and make it as a shareable post from my page onto there. Then you sent me a message saying to remind you of Rule 3, that I was violating community privacy, which I was only sharing her stuff. I was not sharing other people's things, but that's how petty you get. So it was to silence her event and then to silence her protest. Oh, you did a great job in silencing her and those seniors. But you wanted to convince me that I should not worry about the seniors because they are a dying breed. We just tell them what they want to hear just to get their vote, right? We just feed them a bunch of malarkey as to why things can't get done. And you find your policy rights of we can't do this. But my thing is, there are certain things that you can say, oh, yeah, I can't do. When you really want to help somebody, I'm going to tell you this about counsel. When they want to help somebody, this is how they do. If it's something that they legitimately and legally cannot do by policy, they're going to specifically tell you that part. They'll say, oh, yeah, I can't really do this, but, you know, if you go to this, I can direct you over to here, or if I can't do this, but I can do this, whatever, because I really feel that the seniors need to be looked out for. That's what you would have did, but you didn't. You just kept on cutting them off. Peter can care less about the seniors so much to the point he kept emphasizing in emails to me that if their own family don't care to take them out of the out of the slum situation, then why should we? He claimed to try to help and ask for information that they would not provide. However, that representative for the seniors provided me with information that they were sending with the whole layout as you requested. And I'm only sharing some of the ones that I still saved of where she forwarded to other people because she was trying to take their complaints to a higher level. The other thing is everybody wanted to wait till after elections to help them because guess what? It's politics. They just need your vote. Doesn't mean that afterwards they're going to see you and help you out. They just need your vote. They have a lot on their plate. And you have to realize the seniors are the most important people to pander to when you're strategizing for an election and things. They're 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 the bigger voter base. Keep in mind you cannot make everyone happy all the time or every time. How does Peter get the glowing reviews like he gloats about? All a person has to do is say, well, why this, and this, and you're gonna have a whole team of people jumping on them and attacking them for Peter. They're not gonna answer their fellow neighbors with respect that, okay, well, maybe they don't know and they're wondering. So let's just attack them because Peter probably has either pre sent something, because I know I've gotten them in my inbox, but when you get attacked so much, then you start to kind of tune people out because you don't know who's genuinely asking a question or who's genuinely setting you up for the next attack that they have planned. We can break down in my next video how do you be a godsend and get glowing reviews.